Time to upgrade a Christmas present only bought a few days ago. Yeah, you heard me right. Right. Hi guys, Retro Tech Ralph here with this one. This is the laptop I bought my partner for Christmas. It's just after Christmas where I'm filming this. Might release it whenever, but we'll figure it out. This is an Acer Aspire 5 laptop, A515-45 in silver. Now it comes stock from Acer. This is where I bought it from. It comes stock with Windows 11. It comes with a Ryzen 3 5300U quad-core processor at 26 gigahertz, no, 2.6 gigahertz. Size-wise is about, yeah, how's the screen-wise? It's a 15.6 screen. It only does 1K. Don't really care, but it's fine. It's a 16.9 IPS. It comes stock with 8 gigabytes of DDR4 SD RAM. I upgraded this in the shop to get 16 gigabytes, which is more usable for Windows and probably what will be more future-proof for my partner anyway. I would have probably bought some more memory anyway. There's a 512 gigabytes SSD in here, and it's an AMD Radeon graphics shared memory card, but it won't be used only for gaming. It will be used for probably just browsing basically and doing a little bit of homework and stuff anyway. So it's a nice little laptop. I'll just run through a little bits with it now. It's, you'll see the time as soon as I open this. A little bit thin on the front to open. That's my only criticism I can think, but once it's open, it's a really nice thin, see, that's where I've recorded. This is the 27th of December according to this. Actually, why can't you see this? I can. Oh, so that's one of them screens that can't actually be, seen by anybody. So anyway, it's a nice little laptop, nice screen. A backlight on the keyboard, only white. Radeon 5, Radeon, yes, it's not Intel, I do prefer Intel, but that's fine. The only thing that we've found with this is, oh, it's actually a thumbprint pad there, which is really nice to see, is it's kind of no storage. It is a laptop, but what I'm going to do with it is put an SSD in here. Now I don't want to put this down flat just yet because I have a towel to do that with. Nothing major, nothing over the top. I'm going to show you how to put in an SSD. I can't put the M.2 in there because there's already M.2 in there, so it's going to have one of these. What is really brilliant for Acer is they give you one of these kits. The kit has got the shroud for the actual mounting of this and connector and all the screws. You can see that apart from the reflection. Yeah, it comes with this, so they know you're going to want to put a solid state drive in here, and that's what I'm going to do now. Now everything's ready, prepared. You come with 4 screws here, which are actually a little bit thicker stem than these 4 screws. One lot's silver, one lot's black. I assume the wider ones go in the hard drive, which they will do on the side. Yes, the thinner ones will just drop straight into the hard drive, so obviously they will go into the case. Yeah, so the silver ones are for the actual mounting bracket, which is nice to actually see there. There's the plastic cover on the top, so you can just, because it believes, I'm not sure if it's that way or that way, so I'm going to mount this later when I'm actually inside. It should actually be like that, I assume, to go inside. It looks about right. It could also be mounted in that way, I don't know, so I'm going to leave that a second. The actual connector itself is a standard SATA 2-pin connection there, power and data. What's really good about this, and they don't expect you to mess this up, there's already a fold there, so you just fold this over and this will go from where it goes inside the computer to where the connector is. I've already watched a video on this, so we know what we're doing. Now, let's turn this over. Top, bottom, yes. We'll go that way to start with. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 screws to remove. Then I'll have to pry off, because there'll be some plastic clips in here. This bottom bit is plastic, a lot of this is metal. and then it's really interesting. So it's very weird how there isn't an extra. It says 4, 4, and then 3, but there's nothing underneath this rubber strip, underneath these feet. So I need to disassemble this by starting with taking these screws out. All 11 screws out, they're exactly the same, so no worrying what goes where or which one's a specific smaller one anyway. So, pry tool out. I have to be careful, promise not to scratch this, so metal one might not be a good idea. So I'm going to try and start from this corner here, try and get under, a little bit under there. Always recommend for this sort of stuff using plastic pries. If they break, who gives a monkeys? If you scratch, you're gonna. So we'll try different positions to see if we can get this prized up. Could be in the corner here, that looks like quite good. Okay, come back in 2 minutes, I'll be done. And literally 2 minutes later, I'm done. Just try and work your way around. There are the kind of, to me at the moment, they look random, but they're not. So you see there's little tabs there, tab there, tab there. So if you can try and look, tabs all along here just to guide it in place. Tabs on the side as well. But these will click back into place after we have done. So that's quite nice. It's easy enough to do. So there's nothing connected here like speakers. The speakers are there and there. Actually, this is going to be quite a little bit of a teardown then. So obviously we've got ribbon cable over here for the main motherboard to the side, where the USBs are. These are already connected on here. It is quite good, this, because you have got a shrunk network connection if you ever need to. It's fully wireless, fully Bluetooth. But there is a nice little connector which kind of just on a spring which opens this up wider so you can make the bottom thinner. HDMI out for an extra monitor. 2 3.1 USBs, USB-C, nothing on the front, nothing on the back. Yeah, one of those locks that nobody ever uses anymore. Power light, battery light. The power light is flashing because it is on and I need to disconnect this. Or do I? I should actually be alright without going silly. Standard USB, a headphone socket, which is all you really need. And a towel, and a tea towel is all you really need. Memory upgrade is already there. So, actually, I don't think it was the memory. I think it was the SSD they upgraded. Well, one of them I did anyway, so I'll have a look on my, yeah, to see what I did. Actually, I think it's 8 gig on there, but there's actually 8 gig or 4 gig or something on here anyway. So, which way around do we go? The connectors are there. If I've got it right to start with, I think it might go over this. So I could really do with disconnecting the battery, which is underneath here. I think it probably goes there, that's not connected. No. That hole there. Is it or isn't it? It's not that way around. Is it that way around then? No. So it has to be, unless it's... I've got it upside down. I think I've got it upside down. So the plastic bit doesn't do anything there. What did I do it that way around for? Oh, because the connectors are on the back. Right, so those connectors will connect in that way, smaller, and right. So if I just put that in just for testing's sake, like so, that will fold that way. So this hard drive is actually the wrong way around because it's there, right in there, which is what's really awkward about this, underneath the Wi-Fi card in the middle there. So you need to probably best take the Wi-Fi card off and then take out this motherboard cable to fit underneath, which I'm going to do now by removing the battery, which is right underneath there. There's no other cable for that, so I'm just going to prise that off so I'm not going to get shocked. Well, there won't be any shock anyway, but I don't want to destroy that anyway. So then we can start fitting this. Now with everything ready, I've got my screwdriver ready, and off we go. I've already put in the case, the outer part for the SSD. It goes in this way, right? So probably, well, yes, you make sure the cable with the kink, little bend right there, goes to that way. So it wants to go in there like so, on that little stud there, and then on this little stud here. But what has worried me a little bit is I don't want to put this down so just yet. The plastic pad I thought would have been better on the top, to be honest, but it isn't. I need to either go underneath this ribbon cable or take it off. And I think the best option is to take it off. So what I'm going to do is just loosen this clip on here, connect my finger, the whole thing wants to come off, and just remove out. Like so. Then I can put this in place where it's supposed to go, so this goes over the top of that. I will leave that for a second because I've already got the bends on there, so it will go back over. Take the black screws that you got earlier, these little tiny ones, because the silver ones are already in there. Put it in your rubbish, dodgy screwdriver, which I haven't got a magnet for. Mount into 4 corners. Not entirely sure why there's extra tab on that side there. Could be for some reason, I don't know. Might be for mounting something else on here. So I'm going to mount these 4 screws and we can put that back in place. So with all 4 screws in place, I'm going to put this data board, I think it is, with the motherboard on the other side. It doesn't matter which way you take off anyway, it's just easier on this side. It will probably be better doing that one because I have to take off that anyway to be safe. Slide in, just like so, and click into place, and that's in fine. Now I'm going to take off the Wi-Fi. I'm not under the aerials. It doesn't really matter so much about removing those. The battery's already off anyway on 2 connectors. So I remove the Wi-Fi card. The screw is there. I'm going to put it out of the way. Just gently pull up and slide out. Nothing major, and put that to one side for a second. So there is a connector. Let's say put that one over there. It doesn't want to go. I'll just put that bit of tape I use for that, for the power supply over there. Now this wants to go on here, so I'm going to just use my little tweezers or my fingernail just to pop up this white part of the connector. Just be nice and steady. There it goes. Over it goes. In there. As long as these 2 tabs you can see right here, as long as these go, I'll get you in. As long as they go over and into this part I'm pointing with the tweezers, it should be fine. There's a little bit of a lock-in part there. Then once that's in place, just put over, lock into place. And you can flatten that down a little bit better now if you need to. Just use the tweezers on what you can't see. So don't go too silly with this, that should be fine. And then with the motherboard all done, I can put the Wi-Fi card back on. This is just a replace of the other one. There's a part there, I'm not sure if it's a sensor or whatever for underneath here. I'm not doing a tear down of this. This is, yeah. So in on there, hold down a little bit, get your screwdriver, hold down, screw in place. You're not holding the 7th bridge together, so just feel it there a little bit, done. That cable's over everything, the motherboard, that cable's in there, and then you're done. So this has now got 500 gigs of SSD in the M.2 slot, 500 gigs worth of hard drive space, another SSD in the other slot. So I'm happy with that so far. So all I need to do is plug the battery back in. So I'm going to get this smaller connector here back on. See, I think that's a sensor. I don't think I actually needed to take that off, but it was just to be safe anyway. Just push it in, you'll feel the click. And with this, you've got your power. You've got 2 reds, an orange, a yellow, a blue, a green, and 2 blacks. Obviously the earth. No clips on this. This will just push in place. You'll feel it just popping into place, held in these 2 little lugs on top, which is quite nice. So that's the battery back in and not blown up. Plastic over the top. This can now hold in the plastic just in case there's any shorts. There shouldn't be, so we should be fine. Looks like that. Goes back on there. Looks like it pads in and holds into hard drive a little bit more, which is probably not needed. If you use a mechanical, maybe that would actually do a bit of sound deafening anyway, but then we've not got a mechanical drive. So all being well, everything's on. Just gonna double check that cable's underneath there now. They're in, that's on, that's there. That fan okay underneath there? Another plastic bit there, just holding a little bit on top for no reason at all. Easy maintenance on this, because if you ever wanted to repaste this, clean this one out, do the same, undo the screws from the top case, take that off, 2 screws holding the fan in place, and you got 1, 2, 3 holding over the top of the chip. I assume, yeah, with the brass pipes are on here, that the chip will be bang underneath that, so you can remove that entire section, clean it, blow it, isopropanol it, whatever you want, make sure it's nice and dry when it goes back in, clean underneath the thermal part underneath there, and you're done. Easy, very easy to do, to put back in, so you're not going to really strip down too much. It's nicely basic layout. So what we need to do is feel this clicking back in place, go around, feel it, make sure it's all nicely flush to the edges. I don't know about the front has gone in, and put back in your screws. Now it all screws back in place. Just make sure that they are definitely in. Don't need to tighten too much, just when you feel it nipping a little bit, so you know it's secure down. The screws do feel a little bit of an overkill, to be honest, because the clips do seem to hold it in pretty well, but you never know. So back round, power on. I can see the backlight on here just lighting up. You can't, because I can see the Acer on the front there spinning. You really can't see this on the camera. This is quite, I think it might be my filter on the front of the camera. There you go. See, you can see now, there's a filter on the front which stops, updates are underway apparently. So the time now is 13:09, that's powered up. I will just show you there a second. I have actually got my thumbprint on here. My partner's name is showing, but that's fine. It is booting up. It is nice and quiet. The only problem is that fan that's on there. So I don't really know. I need to go to computer. And on the drive, this PC, I think I can safely enough to show you this now. This PC is down here. It's not showing it, but you'll need to go into advanced settings on the computer and find the hard drive. 1 second. So as you can see here, you've got find computer management. If you want to search, right click and the search bar at the bottom, you might have other bits. It's in Windows maintenance, Windows, yeah, whatever. You will find computer management very easy to find. It will automatically, well, this case is automatically found initialized disk. So either master or it's a GUID partition. I don't know, I might prefer master boots if I can. Drive 0. Drive 1 is actually the original, what's in there already, because you've got 3 drives on here. See, partition 1, partition 4 is it's showing on here. The thing with that is there will be a partition 2 and 3, but they'll be hidden and they will be for backup or other types anyway. So just press OK. And it has found unallocated. So I will right click that, new simple volume, click next. It's already allocated for the full amount. I just want one big storage space, drive letter D. It will be NTFS if file system default. Volume, it's fine, everything should be automatic, and just leave it to its own devices. Done. So now we have its formatting. You can see, yeah, you can see that. I think you could, yeah, that's my pole filter on the front of the camera doing that. So it is formatting a 500 gigabyte hard drive, which is nice. And when this should be done, this is all in real time. I'm not fast forwarding any of this. We've done all the maintenance anyway. This is just so if you want to fast forward, fine, off you go. If you don't, then this is real time, how long it's going to take to format 500 gigs. Done. So now it's already showed on here, format. So I'll just click on PC at the moment. This PC has your Acer and your new volume, and we're all done. I can rename that as much as I want. I can just put for drive D, whatever, done. I'm happy, and that's upgrading via Acer's own little bracket and cables, which possibly could have cost, I don't know, they might have charged £50 if you wanted to upgrade that yourself. But so, done, easy. Very nice upgrade to a laptop, which is brand new, and I don't think I have scratched it at all. So here comes the card with a little metal bracket on the back. Just scratch it anyway. So thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Please follow me on social media. Consider being a Patreon. Help out the channel. Consider donating a physical item, anything. I'd really love some more donations into the channel. And with that said, I'll see you in another video. Bye for now.